Speedway Police Department, Speedway, Indiana.
$49.52 West 11th Street. So that's just through the alley and right up the front. Right. Well, I'm gonna take this with me, and I'll talk to Dad, we'll fill something out, and I'll bring it back. Perfect. Thank you kindly. Appreciate it, Carol.
Yeah. Is your records person isn't here?
As far as what? There's a supervisor here.
Well, I mean, I submitted some public records, and
Okay.
they failed to fulfill my records request.
Okay, well, how can I help you?
I want to turn this in.
Okay. Okay, and that's your email address?
Yep.
Okay, and now this is, okay, the post office?
Yeah, this is where Sergeant Fekkes, or however you pronounce his name, yep, unlawfully trespassed me from the post office where I was conducting business.
Okay.
So I'm filing a civil rights lawsuit against him and his unlawful actions. Do I?
When did this happen roughly?
About 4 months ago.
Hey, is Don available? Could you please have him come see me, please? Thank you. Bye. Okay, I'm gonna have Lieutenant Dine come in,
Alright,
okay?
alright.
You're welcome to have a seat. What I'm gonna do here is just put a little post-it note on there that it happened about 4 months ago. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Do you, is the county attorney, you guys have your own attorney here, county attorney for Speedway?
They do, but that's handled by administration. I can probably find out who it is, but I don't have the ability to get.
Yeah, 'cause I need to submit them a copy of that as well.
Okay. How's your attorney? Who is he about finding out that information?
Who he is and all that information?
Yeah, basically.
Town hall. So go out our door and then the door over there,
Okay,
and then turn to your left and you'll see there'll be town hall.
yeah.
Talk to those people and tell them what you're wanting.
Alright, will do. Thank you. I talked to you before.
Okay, well, he says nobody, did this for him. And he's concerned about Sergeant Fekkes, and he said it happened about 4 months ago.
You remember that post office incident that I came and talked to you about? Alright. I mean, you might want to talk to your county attorney about that, and maybe he'll tell you. But I'm going to submit your county attorney a copy of that as well. I've got a copy for him.
Okay.
But if you want, you might want to just talk to the attorney about that, or
Okay, Lieutenant Dine.
okay.
It's easier for me to hear you out here, so I apologize for that.
Yeah,
So
that's
what's
all
going on?
Well, that's over that Fekkes when he unlawfully trespassed me on that post office when I had every right to be in there. And like I said, I recorded in there before and had no problem. And then the time I went in there with no intent to record, Kevin Young refused to do his job. So at that point, I pulled out my phone and started recording.
Okay.
And when I recorded, he called you guys, and Fekkes showed up. And I tried to show Fekkes documentation that proved I had every right to be in there. He neglected everything, didn't want to call the postal inspector, didn't want to do anything, no sort of investigation. Just told me I had to leave that public area.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you can't exclude me from a public area for video recording a public employee who refuses to do their job. I mean,
So again, and like we discussed that day, some of this has to do with your issue with the post office. I understand where you're upset with Sergeant Fekkes that asked you to leave, but they had requested that you be removed from the premises.
yeah, but you guys, I mean, that's the whole thing. You guys can't do whatever these public employees say. You guys operate under law.
So the thing is, the post office, while it is a government entity, does still have a private side to it. So there is kind of a mix there, and depending on where you're at. And the issue that was relayed that day was that you were going to an area that was not for public area. And again, that was what the issue was. At least it was explained to me that day.
Well, that'd be like you saying,
So my question to you
this
is,
ain't a public area. I mean, if the public's allowed in that area, then the public's allowed in that area.
Mhm.
Unless I'm being, disorderly or belligerent or anything, you can't.
and like I told you that day, was what was relayed to him was that you were going to an area that was not, or you were not supposed to be in an area, and that's why they wanted you to leave.
I was in a public area. I explained to Fekkes where I was at. I explained to Fekkes that I didn't plan on recording.
Mhm.
I started recording once he refused to do his job.
Okay.
I mean, how would I get proof of that? I don't know if the post office has audio on their cameras or not. They may just
And
have
I don't
video.
either. That's something you have to take up with them.
So, me knowing I have the ability to use audio and video, that's the best proof I can use to to the postmaster to say, hey, Kevin
Have you
Young
spoke to
refused to do
have
his
you
job.
spoke to the postmaster?
No, but I mean, I just left because I delivered one of those to the post office,
Okay.
and I went in there and recorded me giving it to Kevin Young, and he's still stuck on stupid thinking that we can't record in there. And I noticed you got another auditor show up here that you were talking to.
No, we've had several people who have shown up and talked to us.
I told you it was growing. I mean, every day
Mm-hmm. Oh,
there's more and more
absolutely.
people
this
doing
isn't something that's rare anymore. It happens pretty regularly.
I got another question for you. This morning, I was over there at that little plaza, the little Speedway plaza over there, where they got the MCL, the Dollar
Okay.
Tree, Kroger, and all
Shopping
that.
center?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I noticed one of your officers, looked like a younger guy, pulled somebody over. Are you guys in the habit of pulling vehicles over that put the paper plate in the back window?
Technically, you can. It's an improper plate display.
Well, I understand that, but you guys are aware of the fact that those paper plates have been getting stolen for years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And where would you put a paper plate so it wouldn't get stolen, right? You put it in the back window?
Do you know that's the reason he stopped the vehicle for that?
Well, I'm pretty sure, yeah, because the lady told me it was because of the plate. I mean, he gave her a ticket. I
Okay.
mean,
He gave her a ticket for improper plate display, or did he give it for an expired plate, or?
it was because the plate was in the back window, from what she said. So,
Okay. Well,
I mean,
by state statute, you have to display it on the rear of the vehicle, and it has to be illuminated by a white light. So it is technically, by state statute, improper plate display to have in the back
I
window.
understand, but you guys,
And it also can affect the visibility where it's placed in the window. So there's a couple of things with that. I wasn't part of that traffic stop. I can gladly look into it, but again, she would have to be the one to make the complaint on that, and not you if she was upset about it.
well, yeah, I mean, I understand. All I did was video, like I said, but I mean, you guys have officer discretion.
We do.
You guys need to stop extorting all the money from the people. I mean, the people are struggling the way it is. I mean, the groceries, rent, everything's gone up, and you guys are constantly out extorting people for stuff where there's no victim. I mean, why don't you guys focus on where there's a victim and quit worrying about extracting money from the people? Alright. I mean, wouldn't you think that'd be important? I mean,
You know, there's also driving offenses, and people get hurt in
but
crashes and things of that
if there's a
nature,
crash,
too.
I mean, if there's a crash, I can understand that. I mean,
But some of it is proactive police work to try to deter bad driving behavior and things of that nature.
yeah,
So-
but a paper plate in the back window.
And
just
again,
so-
I don't know if that's what the reason for the stop
Well, I
was.
mean, that's what she relayed to me.
Okay.
I mean, we need to trust you guys. We need to respect you guys.
And I
But when
hope-
you guys do this stuff, when you're extorting the public, it's hard to do that.
Well, and I appreciate your viewpoint on that, but again, that is traffic enforcement is a duty of law enforcement, and that is one of the things that we have to do. Well, it may not be the most glamorous or the most well-received, there is a purpose behind it.
I understand that, but I mean, if drunk drivers and stuff like that, yeah, they have no right being on the road. They shouldn't be under the influence on the road. But minor stuff like that, I mean, cut the people with some slack. I mean, people are barely getting by as it is. I mean, you guys are gonna force everybody into homelessness. And we know what happens when the homeless people are needing something, right? They gotta take it from somewhere, right?
Mhm.
So you guys are creating criminals by extorting people for hundreds of dollars when they're driving.
And again, that's something that if you have an issue with it, then I would advise you to try to get legislation changed. But as of right now, with it being against the law to do,
Legislation has screwed us. Look what the legislators did with us. The 25-foot rule, that's ridiculous. You guys have got crime scene tape if you want to cordon off an area. I mean, what do you need 25 foot for?
to create a safe buffer zone is what it
Safe
is.
for who?
For
I mean,
everybody
I've been the
involved.
victim more than any officer I've seen, and I've been doing this less than a year, and nobody wants to do anything about it.
Well,
I mean, the
sorry you
people are
feel
the victims. You guys ain't the victims. You guys have got guns, tasers, mace. You guys have got everything to protect yourself. We have nothing. We got our phones.
Well, and that's one way to look at it. But again, there's investigations, there's things of that nature that the 25-foot rule does play a vital role. And
I would like to think you guys investigated, but you guys don't. I mean, Fekkes could have called the postal inspector. He could have done so many things to prove I was right, but instead he chose to do whatever the post office wanted him to do. That was more important to him than the people. So, I mean, now, like most lessons in life, they cost money. So now it's going to cost some people money, unfortunately.
and that does happen.
I understand. All right, I don't want to tie up too much of your time. I got a lot to do, so
All right, so we'll try to have a better day, okay?
yeah, I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.